Hello everyone, I'm Urza47, and it's time for some more Mahjong. We're all set for the expert rank promotion match. As you can see, I have 976 points out of the 1,000 needed. By my calculations, any first place win will do it, as will a second place finish with at least 34,000 points, if my calculations are correct on that point. So let's get right into the game. Lots of people are on. Shouldn't take very long to get into one. So you can see here this trend graph shows the last 10 games. Haven't been fourth place in any of them. That's really the key to success, not getting in fourth place, because that's really when fourth place is when you lose a ton of rank points. And so if you don't do that, even if you come in third a lot, your losses for coming in third are relatively are fairly small. So as long as you don't come in fourth place and you come in first, second, third, some proportion of the time, you're gonna make progress. Oh, we have someone who already is an expert at our table. So we have a red 5 and we have a pair of easts. That's pretty good. So we're going to call the third east if somebody were to discard one, because it is the wind of the round. It's going to be worth a Yaku. Third 5, I'm happy to see that. So red dragon is the door, and I don't have any of those. That's a 4. That goes nicely with this. So I can have a pair of 3s and a 3, 4, 5. That's one way to do it. I have 3 5s, but I don't have to necessarily use them as a set. I can use it as this run in a pair. There's no point in cheating that. This 9 doesn't serve much purpose. And I'm noticing nobody's discarded any of those red dragons. So either nobody has them, or they're holding on to them in the hopes of getting more of them. That 8 is not good. Well, I could pawn that. And actually I will. By pawning that, I'm basically committing myself to getting the Yaku either from that third east or by getting an all set hand, which we're not too far away from. We have a set, a second set, and a pair, which generally I don't go for that until I have 4 pairs already. But the pair of easts here gives me another path to victory. The consequence of opening your hand, of course, is that you can't call Ricci anymore. You can only call Ricci with a closed hand. So when you open your hand, you need to make sure you have a way to get a Yaku if you plan on winning. And pairing up the 3s over here gives me pushes me more towards the all triplets hand, which is a 2 Han Yaku. So if I got that, I would probably get the other Yaku for the easts. If only I had held the 5, but there's no way to know that. So that would be a 4 Han hand, because you get 2 for the Yaku of all sets. I would get a 3rd for the easts if I triplet those up, and a 4th for this red 5 here, which would be a manga, and I could chi that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, because that We'll go with this way. There's only one 3 remaining because there's a 3 over there, but there's 2 easts remaining. So I can now... This is a situation called Autozoke, where I'm in Tenpai, but I can... Only part of my weight will actually give me a Yaku. Ooh. Do I really actually want to discard yet? I think I kind of have to, right? Kind of have to. Nobody grabbed it. So I can only actually win on the east. I can't win on the 3-so. So if I were to actually draw that 3-so... Or not so, I mean Manzu. If I were to actually draw this 3 Manzu, I, A, wouldn't be able to win, and B, after I discard it, I would then be in Furiten, and I couldn't even win off the east if somebody else discarded it at that point. But the reason I called this set here is because I called the red 5, because that gives me another... Oh, there we go, Sumo.
Sumo. ごめんなさいね.
Because that gets me a second red 5, and that gets me to 3 Han 40. 5,200 points. Oh, another hand with 2 red 5s in it. Unfortunately, the hand is otherwise quite poor. The Dora tile, incidentally, is always the next one in sequence, so you can see the indicator here of the 7 means that the 8 is actually the Dora tile. So we're going to want to hold on to the 7 for a little while and see if we can get an 8 to go with it. This 8's not great. This 2, 3, 5 is worth holding on to. Obviously, the 4 would be ideal. That's pretty good. So now I can actually complete both of these open-enders. Or not open-enders, it's a closed weight. So it's a closed weight here for a 2 and a closed weight here for a 4. And this one here is actually pretty useless. This is going to be my next card to get rid of. Probably. Three pairs is usually one too many unless you're going for some kind of set-based hand or a pair-based hand. As a rule of thumb, you want 2 pairs in your hand and not 3. So if you have 3 pairs, you tend to want to discard one of them. If you have 4, you tend to want to go towards a pair or a set-based hand. But as it happens, so this is you shouldn't even think of this as a pair. It's a 1, 2, 3 meld, and then it's a 3, 4 proto run. And this pair of 3 and 4 is actually 2 proto runs. So if you think about it, in a way, I don't have any pairs at all because these are all in proto runs. I need a 2 or a 5 to complete this one, or a 4 to complete that one. But as it happens, yeah, that guy had a way faster hand than I did. But it's also fairly cheap. 3,000 points for them. So I'm still in first place, because my hand was worth more than that one was. And I have a pretty good hand here. So I have a lead of 2,500 points over East right now. Oh, that 9 is pretty useless. So I have a completed meld here, and one of them is also the Dora tile, the 5 pin here. Note the indicator of the 4, or you can just notice the tile shimmering if you're playing a computer version that will do that, which this game does. But obviously in person the tiles aren't going to do that, so you have to look at the indicator to know what the Dora tile is. Something I somewhat ashamedly don't always do and end up like discarding them without realizing it. Yeah, we don't want that too. The good news though is that red 5s are always obvious because they're red and they have this red dot on them. If you're colorblind, you should be able to see them anyway because of the dot. Okay, a dragon set over there by East. So, because East is going to win about 50% more points for winning a hand, they're going to push more than other players will. Oh my, that is a double Dora right there. So this red 5 here, it's a Han for being a red 5, and it's another Han for being the Dora. So this is actually a double Dora because it counts either way. And I can't grab that. Ooh. This makes me wish I hadn't gotten rid of the... This makes me wish I hadn't gotten rid of the 9 just now, but... It is what it is. I can't call that because I won't have a Yaku. Green Dragon's useless. So I'm definitely going to try to push this hand, given that I have 3 Doras in it. Unfortunately, I have a pair here, It's 4 or 7 here. It's kind of a mess. Like, these tiles don't work together at all. Yeah, like, remember how I said 3 pairs is too many? So we're going to cut a pair here and have the 2-3 putter. And I already discarded the 1, which could become a problem later. And in fact, I may discard the other 2 because I can use this 3-5 here as a proto run in case I draw the 4. Without the risk of having to have the 1 as part of my weight. Because remember, you go into Furaten if any part of your final weight is in your discard pile. So if my final weight is this 2-3 waiting for a 1-4, I will be in Furaten if that is the case because I discarded the 1. Okay, I cannot call that. It's another 6. That's pretty good. Go to the 7. This 2-3 is like the worst possible proto run because I'm already accepting the 4 because of this other 5-6 proto run I have here, and the 1 is a. Actually, there's only one remaining because I can see 3 of them. So I hope I can draw like a 3 or a 5, or even a 2 or a 6, honestly, to turn this 4 into some kind of proto run and jettison the 2-3 here. Like that. Like exactly that. Okay, so now I'm in a pretty good pattern here. I can get to Tenpai with either a 3-6 in Manzu over here, or with a 4-7 over here in Pinzu. If I get the 7, I'll actually end up with a Yaku called 2 identical Chis, 2 identical runs. I'll have 2 copies of the 5-6-7 run here. Ooh. Well, we will definitely swap that out for the red 5 over there. Fortunately, does not advance my hand. And double unfortunately, these 9s here mean I'm not going to get the all simples Yaku. Because 1s and 9s are terminals, they are not simples. Simples are only number tiles 2 through 8. I could call that if I just wanted to get to Tenpai to avoid the no 10 penalty, but we're going to be a little bit greedy and try to draw it ourselves.
No.
But as frequently happens, somebody else will often win the hand before you can. Now, unfortunately, the player across from me won it and allows them to pass me. But only by a few hundred points. Well, this hand looks pretty good. Also looks like a 1 student honors hand. So I already have my Yaku sorted. A triplet of dragons like this is already a Yaku. 1 student honors is also a Yaku. That's a 2 Han Yaku, or 3 in a closed hand. So we'll see if we can draw some more Manzu tiles. Or honors, for that matter. And if we do, we're going to definitely push our way towards that particular combination. thinking advance. Am I going to want to con the 4th dragon if somebody were to discard it? Probably not. I don't think we're close enough to Tenpai to be doing that. That is an honor, but one's already discarded, so... I think the pair of Tusos here is next. Oh, man, or I could just Ricci here. Yeah. We'll go for the quick now hand. Oh, and it gets called immediately. So we're waiting on the 5 Tuso. This is called a dual pawn wait, or shanpan in Japanese. It's just you have 2 pairs. One of them needs to make a set for you to win. Because every hand, except with 2 exceptions, is 4 melds and a pair. We have 3 melds and we have 2 pairs, so we need one of the pairs to become a meld. Oh! Here we go. So it's 1 for Ricci, 1 for the dragon, and 1 for the fully concealed hand. I hit an Uradora as well. The 5 points to the 6. So 440 is a Mongan for 8,000 points. So, opened up a pretty nice lead here. Another pair of red dragons. Now, since I already have the lead, I'm probably going to push that because I don't need points, I just need to push the game along. It's the equivalent of running the football when you have a lead. Just try to milk the clock. It's not that big a lead, only 13,000, so 1 good hand by North will close that lead substantially. We're definitely going to call that. Given that we have several callable proto-melds here that we can use to hurry the hand up, and having the Yaku sorted allows us to do that and still be able to win. Improves the pattern here for from 8 only to 5 or 8 on that proto run. Don't need the green dragon. I could chi that, and I will. Chi. That does make me put me in a little bit of trouble with respect to my pair, because I don't have any pairs in my hand currently. And you obviously can't call a pair; you can only call a triplet if you already have the pair. So I could end up in a pair weight with just 1 tile hidden in my hand, which isn't great because it's really difficult to defend with that kind of arrangement because you only have. At each turn, you're only going to have 2 tiles you can possibly discard it. Ooh, that is a very, very nice draw. Unfortunately, my right-hand opponent here looks like they have a pretty quick hand as well. But I'm 1 from Tenpai. Oh, she already won. With that pair weight. See, this is the kind of situation I was talking about. You have 4 melds, but you don't have the pair yet. Okay, now this time we are the dealer, and I see 4 pairs in our hand. So that tells me that we should go for all sets. So we're going to start throwing away the tiles that other people will tend to want to use. We'll hold on to the 5, though, in the hopes of drawing the red version of it. We're getting rid of easily used tiles right now because... Excellent. We don't... Those tiles will become liabilities later in the hand when they could potentially be wronged. And obviously we don't... We're in first place. We don't want to deal in at all. That would be pretty bad. That would be like turning the ball over, to use a football analogy. Okay, another red. So one appears, we're going to discard the second one because we're looking for sets. We do have a run here. 1, 2, 3. But that's... We're not going to get all symbols because we have a pair of 1s. We're not going to chi. Discard the 2. That would be a great tile if we were going for a normal hand, but we're not. We're just waiting for someone to discard this, or this, or this, so that we can call it. And finally to pair one of the other. There we go. That's good. 2 norths already. We should have discarded that a while ago. So we have 2 sets and 2 pairs. We just need 1 more pair and we'll be in really good shape. We'll discard the 2. None is hard to use and no one's discarded it yet. Which means either there's a lot of these live on the walls still, or somebody else has like a set of them already. Okay, we're definitely going to discard that. That pause after discarding suggests that somebody else has a pair of them. Normally when there's a pause after a discard, either the game will put those in randomly to confuse you. But it means somebody is thinking about possibly calling that tile. Often it's the person to their right who might be wanting to call it into a chi. But obviously I'm the person to the right and I'm not calling it into a chi, so that means somebody else has 2 of them. Which means I'm never going to be able to pair it off. Which is why I discarded it right away. It's also guaranteed not to be wrong if you discard the same thing the person before you did. Speaking of being wrong, we're in kind of a pickle here because our right-hand opponent here is called Ricci. And you don't want to deal in. You especially don't want to deal into last place. Because that's a great way to get last place yourself. We're not gonna... I would have if there hadn't been a Ricci called. Oh, now we're in Tenpai, so now we gotta go for it. See, this is why we held on to the 5 here, so we could draw the red 5 and use it. Unfortunately, the turn before he already discarded a 5. Now we're gonna con. Oh, that's painful, but it is a safe tile. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I did that. The con made my my set here Dora. Whenever you con, it adds an additional Dora, and I just conned into 4 Dora. Oh, this is a humongous hand if I were to win it here. This would be a Hahnemann at least if I were to win this. Dealer, no less. That would be 18,000 points. Oh, piss. The thing I didn't want to do, but it's a lot cheaper than 18,000 points, so you gotta play the percentages. Okay, now we're in the south round. Still have a lead of somewhat less, 12,000 points. that was the dream. Whenever you call a con, the dream is to get the thing you just conned an additional Dora. So the east is not the round wind now. Now it's south. But I have a pair of that also, so you can see it says south 1, and this is south. East, south, north. The one that looks like a box is west. That's what a west looks like. So, if west were to discard a 7-so, I would probably call Chi on it, given that I'm planning on calling the south wind if someone were ever to discard it. We're not going to call that, though. The only reason to call the 7 is because it confirms a Dora in the hand. I'm going to play a little more cautiously on calls that aren't that. Okay, we got a... Got a set of Easts, which unfortunately is a guest win. So now if I draw the 6 Pinzu, I can actually discard the 8 and call Ricci. And have another dual pawn weight on the 8-mon and the south. South would be the one I would most want because it would give me an extra Han. Makes me wish I hadn't discarded the 6, but because I did, we're going to discard the 7 now. Because keeping that would potentially put me in for a 10. Because note the 6 already having been discarded. Okay, that gives me a better... doubles my odds of going into Tenpai. Yep, there we go. So we can discard this and go into Ricci. It is the Dora, but... obviously, when you're in Tenpai, it's time to go. So as you can see, the weight is 8 Manzu south on the dual pawn weight. All 4 of those tiles are live. And furthermore, if we draw the final east, we can actually con it, which would be pretty cool. And potentially give us more Dora. And more Uradora, for that matter. Because the 4th east has not been seen yet. And I think... given that it's not the wind of the round, I think certainly if any of these 3 people had it, they would have discarded it by now. Ooh, alas, I did not win. 5,200 points there. Still in the lead, but it is beginning to narrow as my opponents begin to put hands together and catch up. It's 8,200 with respect to south, and 11,500 with respect to east. As we now go into south 2. This is a pretty good hand, though. We have a run here, a very good pair proto run. So this can get completed with another 4, a 7, or a third 5. I really don't like edge weights, but it's a thing. My problem with edge weights is there's only one tile that will complete this, and furthermore, there aren't any tiles that will actually make it any better in the short term. So these tend to be things I get rid of pretty quickly if I don't have anything better. Or worse, is it? Anything worse to discard, which I do have a bunch of worse things to discard, like that, this Lonely South over here. So this is a red 5. It's actually a really good red 5 because The 6 Manzu is the Dora. So if I get a 6, that'll be really good. It'll also make me really want to discard these because the 7 is already being accepted as part of that 5-6 proto run. And I don't need the 8-9 anymore at that point. Yeah, we'll just ditch it. Also, ditching the 9 allows us to get all simples. So now I can start calling stuff. So I will probably call the 3-pin or the 5-pin if one were to show. That is not what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for, however. So we have an extra 5 here and an extra 5 here. We want to connect either one of those. And across the table... Ugh. This is a dangerous tile, but we are in Tenpai now. We're going to be bold. So we're waiting 3-6 open-ender here.
Done.
Thank you very much. It's cheap, but I also get the extra 1,000 points from that Richu bet, and we move the game along. Now into South 3. Also pads my lead a little bit, so we're back into double-digit thousands. Although we're at the... I remember now that we're past the 34,000 we needed to actually make expert. Even if we don't necessarily win, so second place with this score would be good enough, I believe. So we have a completed meld with Adora already. And that guy has a completed meld over there with 2 Dora. He's got the red 5 and he's got the 6 so. So we'll definitely want to keep an eye on them. But we have a pretty good hand for this stage in the game. Although I don't like this is a closed weight. This is a closed weight, and we have some like extra flotsam around here that isn't doing much. Ooh. Pairing that Dora certainly makes me lick my lips a little bit. I mean, the 9 advances the hand, but I mean, we have a 1 here, so we're not getting all simples anyway. All simples is a great way to take advantage of a hand with a bunch of Dora in it because it's an easy to get Yaku. So you can just go out with all simples plus Dora and get some good points from that. But we have terminals in our hand that are being used, so that's not really a path for us. Oh, that is excellent. That is really, really excellent. So now we have a 7, 8, 9 here, and we can use the pair of 6s actually as a pair. Now, what would be perfect right now would be to draw a third 6 so. Of which only 1 is remaining, because I can see another one there. So there's only 1 left that I can't see. I could Richi here on a closed weight, but I have 2 Dora, so it's...
Reach desu.
Normally I don't like reaching on a bad way, but if you have a bunch of Dora in your hand, you gotta do it. My opponents might worry that I'm going for a Chinitsu type hand, because that was the first Zozu I've discarded. Chinitsu being all of one suit. If you notice somebody not discarding any tiles of a particular suit, and then they call Richi, you probably don't want to discard tiles of that suit. I'll also note that we do have a... Oh, no, we don't. The fourth 9 over there is has already been discarded, so we can't con that. Theoretically, we could if that weren't there and we were to have drawn it, but not going to happen. Calling concealed cons is the only thing you can do when you're in Richi other than going out. And even then, only if it doesn't change your weight, which this one wouldn't. Still 4 of them left. Tiles are running out, though. I'm only going to have 4 more orbits or so. This 5 is a good tile for me to have discarded, though. Actually, no, never mind. Okay, so, wow. West had a... So a closed Dama weight. Which means a closed ready hand that did not call Richi. That's perfectly fine by me. It gets us into all last. This is the last hand, unless... And I'm the dealer also. It's the last hand unless the dealer wins and is not in the lead. But I am in the lead, so if I win, the game will end. So this definitely will be the last hand. So all I have to do to win is not screw it up. So I'm going to hold on to this safe tile for now. I have a door, but I don't really need it, because any hand will allow me to win. So and I'm up by 10,000 plus points. So the only way for me to lose is if I deal in, which I absolutely shouldn't do, or if somebody makes a sufficiently big hand to pass me. Definitely a defensive play there with the 6. We're holding on to this because it's going to be a safe tile. This pair of 1s are going to be... Terminals are generally safe-ish. All things considered. Generally, the harder it is to use a given tile, the safer it is. And that is concerning. In fact, it makes me want to start discarding my... Manzu tiles right now. Okay, so now that we've discarded those, no, we're not going to call that. Yeah, I think we're just going to not discard any more Manzu at this point. Except maybe this one. Because I know that the 3 other ones are visible. There's a 2 and a 3 visible, and another 2 visible, so it's kind of hard to use that. He did just discard a 6, though. So these 6s are guaranteed safe tiles against him.
ポンですよ。
Now he could be going. Now he could have anything, because that sets up a Yaku. So he could have non-Manzu tiles in there. And honestly, if he doesn't have Hanitsu and he just has the dragons only, I'm okay dealing in actually, because that's going to be a sufficiently cheap hand that I can still win if I deal into it.
それ、パンですわ。
Oh, that's very concerning. Just discarded the 5, so those are safe. That's gonna be safe. Ooh. Ooh. That's probably not good.
リーチ、ツモ、ドラ猫、ドラ猫、ドラ猫。
Only a Mangan.
にゃんがん。
That's not gonna do it. I guess it is gonna do it. I didn't count. Son of a bitch! I don't get it! Oh, fuck me.
天下無双にゃ。
Oh, wait a minute. Is 32 enough? I don't think 32 is enough. No, it is enough! Yay! Certification of expert. That is fantastic. Gets me a ticket into the gold room where I can play with other experts. Well, thank you all for watching. Come back next time when we explore the much better players in the gold room that are at least as good as I am. It'll be fun. I'll see you then. So long.